Maddison Inglis. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do plenty of different things this year in the Hobart International 2016.
Okay.
We will have the usual ball in the crowd scenario. As a player will hit the ball out after the game.
Well, a very good morning, everyone. Welcome to beautiful Hobart on this magnificent sunny day for day one of play at the 2016 Hobart International. Rick Fontaine with you at the Domain Tennis Centre. We're expecting a maximum today of 28 degrees. Beautiful sunny conditions. No wind to speak of, and we're set for a fantastic day one, opening day of the 2016 Hobart International. Margarita Gasparyan of Russia taking on the young 17-year-old Maddison Inglis, who got a wild card into the event, the young Australian girl who will be in action here on centre court first this afternoon. We've also got plenty of tennis to come during the course of the day. Centre court action will be followed by the number 7 seed Elise Cornet of France. She'll be taking on Denisa Alatova of the Czech Republic, and then we'll have a doubles game. Kimberly Birrell and Jamila Wolf taking on Katerina Bondarenko of the Ukraine and Tatiana Maria of Germany. And then the day will be rounded off with the number 2 seed, the Italian Camilla Giorgi, taking on Zarina Diaz of Kazakhstan. Still some qualifying matches going on the outside courts. We'll keep you up to date with that, but we hope that you enjoy our broadcast and all the action from the Domain Tennis Centre as the players have just come out on court, as I mentioned, and we'll be getting play underway very shortly, and they'll go through the coin toss and their warm-ups. But plenty of tennis, some great names down here. Of course, Eugenie Bouchard will be in action. The former world number 4 has had a bit of a layoff during 2015, but great to see her healthy and well and back in action. She is here. Unfortunately, we've lost Sloane Stephens due to a viral illness. She was a late withdrawal yesterday, but we've still got a fantastic field and looking forward to some wonderful action throughout the course of the day. Magnificent vantage spot here at the Domain Tennis Centre. We've got the yachts out on the River Derwent at the moment. We've had cruise ships coming and going, and it's just a magic part of the world, and we've really turned the weather on. It's been a magnificent summer down here in Tasmania, and of course this is part of the Australian Open series and a very important lead-in for all the players as they head to Melbourne next week. Well, we got both our players out on the court at the moment. Margarita Gasparyan from Moscow in Russia and the young Maddison Inglis. We're going to go down now and a formal introduction from our court announcer, Michael Maney.
Margarita Gasparyan is ranked number 61 in the world. 2015 was her first top 100 season, ending the year at 62. She won 1 title in Baku, made the quarters at Linz and Luxembourg. Please welcome from Russia, Margarita Gasparyan. Maddison Inglis is from Perth. She's ranked number 84 as a junior in the world. Maddison made her senior Grand Slam main draw debut at the 2015 Australian Open in the doubles with Alexandra Nancaro. If she sees the next 4 days out, she will turn 18 in Hobart. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Please welcome once again a wildcard entry to the tournament, Maddison Inglis. Ladies and gentlemen, your chair umpire is Christian Rask from Denmark.
Well, thank you to Michael Maney, our court announcer here on centre court for the whole week at the Domain Tennis Centre for the Hobart International. So what a big moment this is for the young Australian Maddison Inglis. She has received a wild card into the tournament, and she's had a terrific start to the season. She produced a wonderful performance to win the Australian Open 2016 playoff, so she'll be heading for Melbourne Park next week. A great win over Arina Rodionova to secure an Australian main draw wildcard next week. So wonderful performance from her. She has also won the Australian 18 and under championship a couple of years ago. A real rising star, just 17 years of age, and she's been in terrific form. And what an opportunity this is for her this morning, taking on Margarita Gasparyan, the 21-year-old who's got 1 WTA title to her name already. Made her Grand Slam debut last year, falling at the first round at Wimbledon and also the French Open. But certainly going in as the favourite, currently ranked 61 in the world, the young Russian. But a great opportunity for Maddison Inglis, as we said. It was a great performance from her to get through all those matches, and what a great moment it is. Great to see the young Australian tennis players doing so well as they go through their warm-up at the moment. Good crowd building already. Beautiful conditions, as we mentioned, heading for 29 degrees. And this court, from where it's come even 10, 15 years ago to where it is now, it's just an outstanding tennis centre down here in Hobart, and up here on the hill at the Domain Tennis Centre, looking out on a stunning day with no wind. Where else would you rather be? So great to have your company. We hope you can stick around with us all day and enjoy some fantastic tennis action, and a great week of tennis we're going to have, that is for sure. As I mentioned, we've still got some qualifying matches on the outside courts. We can update you on those at the moment. And in the first of the games, they're just into a tiebreak on, and that is the match between, at the moment, Kurumi Nara of Japan and Richo Hogenkamp of the Netherlands. And they are locked at 6-all, with Nara 4-1 up in the tiebreak. And in the other match on the court at the moment, it's Pauline Parmentier of France taking on the Spaniard Laura Pustillo. And that game has been real seesaw match so far. They're just at the start of the third set. Parmentier won the opening set 6-1, but went down 6-love in the second set. So 6-1, love 6-1 set all. And they're just into the third set of that qualifying match there this morning on the outside court. But the focus here are just about a couple of minutes away from the opening match of the main draw here at the Hobart International, part of the Emirates Australian Open Series for 2016. And it's already pretty warm outside, and the ball kids, great part of this tournament, is all looking fantastic. And as I mentioned, great to have a nice little crowd in here already very early this morning. The cars were coming in early. A Big Dave Sport in Hobart. They've already had the very popular and one of the big marathon events, the Cadbury Marathon's already been run and won. That was underway at 6 o'clock, and then we've got the Big Bash happening a little bit later today across the river at Blunston Arena between the Hobart Hurricanes and the Perth Scorchers later on today. And that game is a sellout, so they're going to break the ground record, and we could certainly a real hub for sport in Tasmania here this afternoon. As I mentioned, it's also terrific to have some great quality players down here in Hobart this week. Eugenie Bouchard, as we mentioned, down here. She is the number 5 in the world. She was back in October 2014. So she's had a fantastic start to her to campaign this year, coming off from China and now back down here in Tasmania. So she has played in Burnie before. The Burnie International was the first tournament she actually won in her professional career. But this is her first time down in Hobart. We'll see her in action. Not today, but certainly as the week goes on. And on the outside court, I can tell you that Nara of Japan has taken the opening set in the tiebreak 7-6 against Hogenkamp from the Netherlands. So up 1 set to love, and they are qualifying matches that are being played on the outside court today. But it's all about the main draw here on centre court today at the Domain Tennis Centre. The players just having a drink, and they'll be out on court very shortly.
First set, Maddison Inglis to serve. Play. Oh. 15-love.
So a great confident start there for the young Australian, Maddison Inglis. Good rally and a good first point.
15 all.
A great all-court point there from Maddison Inglis. A good confident start that'll certainly shake a few of the nerves very early here in her main draw event at the Hobart International. A very, very confident start from the youngster. Looking strong early.
T15. T30. Inglis.
And a great opening game for Inglis, and the crowd appreciating that. So a great start for the young Australian, currently ranked 781 in the world against the number 61 ranked Margarita Gasparyan. So that'll give her a lot of confidence, the 17-year-old, holding on to her serve in the opening game here of the women's singles first round on centre court. And great to have everyone here on board watching our streaming this morning here in Hobart. Great to have your company wherever you may be around the world. We're in the southernmost state of Australia here, the beautiful island of Tasmania. Wonderful blue skies, and certainly a great scene looking out onto the River Derwent. And the weather forecast certainly very promising for the first couple of days at least. Warm weather, 29 we're headed for here today. Gasparyan to serve. Just along the forehand there from Inglis, but she's been very aggressive early on. It's certainly focusing on that backhand in particular, the backhand side of Gasparyan. 15 all. Sorry, 30 love. A lovely shot down the line, forehand to the backhand there of Gasparyan.
30-15.
Terrific court coverage from Inglis, and certainly has Gasparyan having to move a lot to the backhand in particular. That seems to be the focus early on. And another great forehand winner, 2 in a row from Inglis to bring it back to 30 all.
30 all.
Certainly noticeable. She's come out very aggressive. No sign of nerves for the young 17-year-old. It's a big moment in her senior playing career here, but off to a really positive start. And that brings up a break point opportunity. What a great start of the match this would be if Inglis can get an early break here. First set. 3 points in a row to Inglis. And a great first serve. Sets up the point for Gasparyan to take it back to deuce. And another great cross-court forehand from Inglis sets up another break point for the young Australian. So she's really making a statement very early here. Very positive, aggressive tennis. Break point to number 2. And there it is, the first break. Inglis breaks the Russian serve to take a 2-love lead. And
Inglis leads 2 games to love.
Interesting there, Inglis coming right inside the court there for that second serve, which put a little bit of doubt into Gasparyan's mind there, and the second serve was very long. So very, very good intentions and a great signs early on for the young 17-year-old from Western Australia. 2-love opening set.
$15 love.
So really taking some great momentum here into the opening set. No sign of nerves from the young Australian. So that brings up 3 game points. So if Gasparyan hadn't ever heard of Maddison Inglis before today, she certainly knows about her now. She's serving here 3 game points for a 3-love lead in the opening set. And finishes it with an impressive ace down the middle. 3-love to Inglis. She's off to an absolute fly here at the Domain Tennis Centre. And she states that her game is probably most closely resembled to Eugenie Bouchard's. Well, what an opportunity she's got here. She'll get to see Eugenie in action here in Hobart this week. And what a great moment for the young 17-year-old Australian. As we mentioned earlier, she's heading to the Australian Open winning the wild card playoff there. So what a great couple of weeks in her life coming up here, playing in the main draw of the Hobart International and then heading to Melbourne Park for the Australian Open, her first Grand Slam. Won the Australian Open 18 and under championships back in 2013, did Maddison Inglis, and she was, a couple of years ago, her ranking was just over 1100, and at the moment up to 781. So very, very good start for the young Australian. Out on the outside courts, we could just update you there on the scores, and it's 2-2 in the second set between Cara and Hokenkamp, and certainly Pustillo getting away from Parmentier of France. 1-6, 6-love and 3-love in the third set. Just dropping in on the line there. Inglis was shaped to go with the double hand backhand, but let the ball bounce, and unfortunately it's just caught the line. So first point of the game to Gasparyan. Terrific power from Inglis. Certainly out of the two players at the moment, she is the most aggressive out there, and Gasparyan very defensive at the moment, and it's being forced by some wonderful aggressive tennis from the young Australian. Oh, unlucky. She really was in control of that point, Inglis, but a low return back from Gasparyan, and the Russian moves to 30-15. At least to get on the board here. 3-love down in the opening set. Good aggressive play on that occasion from the Russian. Just lifting it up just a little notch here in this game. She knows she's certainly in for a match. 40-15. Terrific service game from the Russian. Gasparyan on the board here in the opening set. The women's singles first round. 3-1 to Inglis. So really important game this one now for Inglis to try and maintain that advantage of a service break. Certainly a far better game from the Russian. More aggression. First serves in. Excellent aggressive tennis from Inglis. Certainly not overawed at all. No nerves. Certainly no signs of it in her play at the moment. And a backhand error from Gasparyan, and just tossing her head back there in frustration. And it's long, so terrific service game once again from Inglis. 3 game points for a 4-1 lead here in the opening set. terrific cross-court forehand there on that occasion from Gasparyan. 40-15, still 2 game points. Gasparyan just trying their backcourt to motivate herself, get herself up and into the match. It's just wide. Still game point though for Inglis. Certainly maintaining that aggressive approach, and certainly had the Russian on the defensive that point, but just wide. 40-30. And that goes long, so Gasparyan has brought it back to juice. Was an excellent first serve there from Inglis down the line, but the forehand well long. So Inglis grabs a towel. Warm conditions here, around 21 degrees at the moment. Forecast 29 later on this afternoon on a stunning day down here in Hobart, Tasmania, for day 1 of the main draw, the 2016 Hobart International. And a serve long double fault brings up break point for the first time today for Gasparyan. Just a few little errors the last few points. And it's long, so Gasparyan has the break, and we're back on serve here in the opening round of the women's singles. Inglis leading Gasparyan 3 games to 2. Well, we've got some fantastic players, as we mentioned, down here playing. We've got last year's winner Heather Watson, of course, been playing in the Hopman Cup from Great Britain, playing with Andy Murray. She's back to defend her title. The Maddison Inglis, who was runner-up last year. Great to have her here. And of course, the 2011 winner, recently married Jamila Groth. Now, of course, Jamila Wolf, she is down here playing. She's got a wild card into the tournament, and was very impressive in Perth at the Hopman Cup last week, playing with, of course, Leighton Hewitt, playing his final Hopman Cup. And she'll bring some good form down to Hobart, and she'll be in action a little bit later today in the doubles. And certainly looking forward to seeing her throughout the week as well. Certainly one of the games that we'll be looking forward to in the opening round will be Eugenie Bouchard taking on Bethany Maddox-Sands from the United States. Maddox-Sands was ranked as high as 30 in the world, now at 60, and that'll be certainly one of the games to really look forward to in the opening round. But it's Gasparyan to serve, 2-3 opening set.
Love 15.
Seemed to have a bit of trouble with the ball toss. That hitting very low on the net there from Gasparyan, the second serve. So love 15. Inglis conceded the last 2 games. Very close, that second serve. Inglis looking at the line. the forehand long, so it takes it back to 15 all. Very aggressive on the return of serves, Inglis, right there on the line, right on the baseline.
Oh. 30-15.
Very good first serve from Gasparyan. A lot of power in that. And you can just see the confidence building. Just pumping herself up a little bit. She's certainly starting to work her way right back into this match after a flying start from Inglis. 3-love lead. 40-30. And well played. Maddison Inglis set that point up beautifully with a great forehand down the line and finishing it with cross-court backhand. Bring it back to 40-30. Excellent tennis from Inglis. She gets it back to juice from 40-15 down. Really had Gasparyan stretching there, and it proved too much in the end. Excellent aggressive tennis once again from the 17-year-old Australian. As we mentioned before, showing no sign of nerves here, and it's a great effort to get it back to juice. Drifts wide, so game point for Gasparyan. 21-year-old from Moscow in Russia. Won Korea WTA title to her name already. Excellent serve. And Gasparyan holds, and it is 3-all here in the opening set. So really important now for Inglis to try and resettle. She's been playing very well and right in this match. Excellent tennis from Inglis, coming into the net and finishing it off with a very nice backhand. Excellent tennis.
Net first service.
Just wide.
15-all.
So Gasparyan, very tall Russian, 183 centimetres, and currently ranked 61 in the world.
15-30.
So Inglis, first time in the match, just in a little bit of trouble. 15-30 down. Certainly Gasparyan starting to really force the pace a little bit more. And that's a really nice point from Inglis. Well played. Back to 30 all.
30 all.
So it brings up break point. Great to see the one-handed backhand. We don't see that a lot in tennis anymore, but Gasparyan has a beautiful single-handed backhand. So we think of Justine Henin, that magnificent backhand that she had. Probably one of the best backhands we've seen in women's tennis, but great to see that it hasn't died. Gasparyan there, lovely backhand, brings up break point. And for the first time in the match, Margarita Gasparyan is in front on the scoreboard. She's up a break, 4-3, coming back from a 3-love deficit in the opening set. So well played, Margarita Gasparyan. And Maddison Inglis takes a seat, but certainly right in this match still. Plenty of great tennis action coming for you here this afternoon. Terrific to have your company wherever you may be tuning into us right around the world. We're in beautiful Hobart here in Tasmania. Magnificent day. Plenty of yachts out on the Derwent River. Bright sunny conditions, headed for 29 degrees, and that temperature certainly starting to go up rapidly here. I think we're around 26 degrees already here in Hobart. So, and it's approaching 12 o'clock. Down here in Tasmania, and the Hobart International, one of the great venues for tennis, really, when you have a look at that vision there looking out onto the Derwent River at the moment. Stunning day, and the tournament now has really built itself up to be part now of the Emirates Australian Open Series. Is fantastic. So Gasparyan back on court already. She's ready to go. Inglis using up her allotted time. So Gasparyan there, just not getting over that forehand at all there, right, very low into the net. And Inglis certainly took a lot of time there thinking of that change of ends. She's right in this match and she knows that. Just to keep her aggressive game going. That drifts well long, so back to 15 all.
15-30.
Excellent forehand there. Two great forehands from Inglis. 15-30, just a game that's completed on the outside court. Pustillo of Spain has defeated Parmentier of France 1-6, 6-love, 6-love. So she progresses through the qualifiers there. Excellent point from Inglis. Really worked Gasparyan over on that point. Really still focusing on the backhand in particular, but wonderful all-court play and not afraid to come into the net. Finish that point off beautifully to set up 2 break points. Yeah, very good serve right at the body of Inglis on that occasion. So certainly when Gasparyan gets that first serve of hers in, it's a good strong serve. Of course, as we mentioned, she's 183 centimetres, so 6 foot in the old scale, and has plenty of power. Still break point. Second serve. And there's the break back. Terrific game from Inglis. Losing her serve to go down a break. She's broken straight back on Gasparyan. 4-all in the opening set. And that'll give her plenty of confidence. So big game here now for the young Australian, just 17 years of age. Good fight back. Was up 3-love early, and now back to, went down 3-4, but breaking Gasparyan back. And the backhand drifts just wide there for Inglis, so back to 15-all. Certainly a beautiful backhand that Gasparyan has. Wonderful backhand from Gasparyan down the line, and terrific to be joined now in commentary. Michael Maney joining us up here in the commentary box. Good morning, Michael. What a vantage spot.
Oh, it's just magnificent, Rick. Good morning to you and everyone who's watching through the live stream and listening. Yeah, look, I've been impressed with the way Maddison Inglis has gone about it, but it just looks to me like Gasparyan is starting to get her game together. She's hitting her ground strokes extremely well.
Yeah, good aggressive play from Inglis on that occasion, saves one of the break points, but she's maintained that aggression, hasn't she, Michael, from the outset? It hasn't let her, it hasn't got to her yet. 3-love up and then to be down 4-3. She's keeping that pressure and momentum going.
Yeah, it would have given her a lot of confidence to go 3-love up, and she just needs to maintain. She's got to stick in. She's got to just keep at it.
That's long, so there is the break back. So 3 consecutive breaks.
5 games to 4.
Gasparyan, as we heard our court umpire say, 5-4 to Gasparyan, and just a little bit of frustration building there for Inglis there. But the backhand of Gasparyan in particular, isn't it wonderful? And I've mentioned already to our viewers, to see the one-handed backhand, and it's a great sight.
It is, and I think they can just lean on it here and just slam it down the line. Gasparyan did so well in that game. So, yeah, interesting that she's up against the youngster, 768 in the world, Maddison Inglis, and I think that she's got a lot to learn. She's only 17 years old, and when I was introducing her, I think if she hangs around for the next 3 or 4 days, she'll celebrate her 18th birthday in Hobart, and an up-and-coming player. And I guess they do come here to the Hobart International, Rick, don't they? They love to get here and play this tournament. I think it's a fun tournament, and just listening to Mona Bartle earlier this week, and she said it does kickstart her year to be able to get down to Hobart. She's been back so regularly and loves coming here. And why wouldn't you with the weather? Last year was a bit windy and a bit cold and a bit wet, and we had all sorts of seasons last year, but I think the weather forecast is pretty good. So looks like Gasparyan is going to serve for the first set.
Yeah, picture perfect conditions here. You could take a photo of this and whack it on anyone's postcard, and they would love it. Gasparyan 5-4 opening set. Great forehand down the line from Inglis. A great start if she fights to stay in this opening set. Love 15. Crowd still continuing to build and come in here at the Domain Tennis Centre in Hobart. Excellent serve down the line. Good aggressive tennis. As I mentioned before, you're 6 foot tall and you can slam the ball down like that to get your first serve in. You're going to win a lot of points, and a good free point there for Gasparyan. Just long. So, a window of opportunity here for Inglis to try and stay in this set and bring it back to 5-all. First match of 4 here on centre court today. Serve again at first serve. So vital for Gasparyan. There's so much power behind it. Certainly a lot more opportunities on that second serve. Struggled a little bit with that, but the first serve is working very well in the latter stages here of the opening set. 30-all. And once again, down the middle, brings up the set point for the 21-year-old Russian. Goes wide, so Inglis gets it back to juice. And just hanging in there, Michael. It certainly, Gasparyan has lifted her intensity, hasn't she? And certainly the power within her shots after a very sluggish start.
That's right, she has. And after being, as you said, 3-love down, she's fought back. But here's an opportunity for Maddison to get a break back. She just needs something to go right here.
Advantage Gasparyan.
And a great serve out wide again. That first serve, when she gets that in, she's not losing many points there. It's she's getting them out wide and down the middle, and Inglis is a fair bit shorter than the 6-foot Russian.
That's the experience of Gasparyan.
17 centimetres difference in height between the two. And a great overhead from Gasparyan. And that is the opening set in around 50 minutes. Gasparyan 6 games to 4. So Michael, the Russian, just starting to get on top there. She's won 6 of the last 7 games. And but Inglis certainly not out of it. She's maintained her aggression from the start and not playing badly, but the Russian just lifting her game in intensity.
I think that's a quality point, Rick. She just stepped it up when she needed to, and the youngster Maddison Inglis is they're still finding a way in the tour, wild card into this tournament, but she's certainly a player that's on the up. I can remember last year being here, and a lot of the games on the first day all went to 3 sets from my memory, so it was quite an outstanding first day. Beautiful weather, just like it is today, so hopefully that can continue. But Gasparyan, excellent first set. She was down, as you said, 3-love, and then she was able to fight back. So now I suppose it is time for Maddison Inglis to really try and pull something out of the bag here and get back into the match. She's down a set and really needs to find something. So interesting day that we've got coming up, Rick, and I know that you're looking forward to watching Elise Cornier from France, the 7th seed, and disappointing. And I'm sure you've mentioned that Sloane Stephens is out of the tournament. She won in Auckland only just a day or so ago, but she's out with a virus, and always a popular player here too, Sloane Stephens. Yes. Very, very popular, and I know the tournament director Mark Hanley was disappointed when he received the news late yesterday that she wasn't going to be in this tournament, but I think she's still coming to Hobart, someone tells me, so she may be just wandering around here. She may have booked and etc. and has to come to Hobart, but let's hope she's okay.
Yeah, we wish her a speedy recovery and hope that she'll be all good to go. We just touched on the first serves. 70% of her first serve she's won, Inglis, so and only 25 on second serve. Just shows you there is a real difference in her serving there, but certainly got that percentage up late in the set. Inglis serving first game, second set.
Love 15.
And Gasparyan, we talk about the golf in experience, is 4 years in age, but in experience at that age, it's market, and she already has one title to her name, Gasparyan, and the journey for Inglis is really just beginning.
Just been on the tour for a little longer, and that can make an enormous difference.
Love 30.
Another unforced error from Inglis. She's a little bit frustrated. She got frustrated in that first set. I think in about the 5th game, 6th game, very frustrated, and just needs to hold a nerve here. Doesn't want to go down another break.
Beautiful backhand. That's just a stunning backhand she's got, and she's really starting to. That's really starting to become a weapon and a bit of little danger signs early on. Down 3 break points in the opening game of the second set. She's just got to really try and hang in there now, Inglis. And that's an excellent game for Gasparyan. Breaking to love to win the opening game of the second set. But on Maddison Inglis, for those who may not have heard too much about the young 17-year-old from Western Australia, Michael, she's also qualified, winning the Australian Open playoff just 2 or 3 weeks ago. So she'll be heading to the Grand Slam first Grand Slam of the year and her first Grand Slam, and she must just be so excited. I know when she won that playoff against Arina Rodionova, she was absolutely delighted after that was coming on the back of competing in the National 18s Championships. So it's a massive couple of weeks coming up for the youngster.
Oh, yeah, it is. Plenty ahead of her.
15 love.
She just seems to be getting the angles right at the moment, Gasparyan, doesn't she? She's using all the court. She's hitting close to the lines, and she's just seems to be right on top of her game at the moment. Plenty of confidence.
She's really become the aggressor. She was very defensive early, and that was credit to Inglis. She was really forcing her out wide, particularly to that backhand side. But that backhand's really become a weapon now, and it's Inglis who's really been on the run.
Yeah, she just doesn't have the answers at the moment. 30 love.
Just wide. Much better point there from Inglis on that occasion. She's lifted that aggression.
15.
Those ground strokes just had a little bit more pace on them, and forcing the error in the end to bring it back to 30-15. Her first point of the second set.
It's
a great serve, and it's the advantage when you're 6 foot tall, isn't it, Michael? It's you've got less margin for error getting that ball over the net. It's pretty simple sometimes.
Yes, it is, but yeah, you've still got to get it in that box. You really do. And she's doing a marvellous job. 40-15. Played by Inglis there. She really has to start to get a bit more aggressive, I think. Things are slipping away here, even though we're just 1 love and 40-30 in this game. But she really does need to start to get a little bit more aggressive. She's got to back herself. I think from the baseline, Gasparyan's going to pick you off, so she's got to find a way somehow.
Game, Gasparyan.
And finishes it off with an ace. So 2 love here in the second set. Just on the outside courts, of course, we've got the qualifiers happening. Just a completed match for you. And Karumi Nara of Japan has gotten over Richelle Hogenkamp of the Netherlands on the outside court there. 7-6, 6-3. So she progresses. We'll keep you up to date with the other matches that are going on as we speak on the outside courts. And those games just getting underway. We'll keep you posted on how that goes. But love 2 here for Inglis on her serve. There on that occasion. What I like about Inglis's game is that real Australian tennis style, isn't it? We're not scared to come into the net and be aggressive, and I don't think we've seen Gasparyan come in yet, but she's got a real game to build on, I think, Inglis.
Yeah, she has, and I think she's probably got to start making some changes, and we could be seeing the start of that right now.
Net, first service.
Gasparyan a little frustrated there. A couple of last 2 points not making their way up the net very high there. So 30 love. Really crucial here for Inglis that she doesn't go down a double break. Just drifts along, so terrific to have your company wherever you may be tuning into our stream, anywhere around the world. It's great to have you on board here, coming from Hobart in Tasmania. Rick Fontaine and Michael Maney with you here in the commentary box on a magnificent day as we head towards 29 degrees live at the Domain Tennis Centre here in Hobart. The lead-in event, a big event here as we approach Australian Open, the first Grand Slam of the year starting next week. Coverage there from Inglis on that occasion, showing her fitness, getting up there. She was in a good position, Gasparyan, to win that point, but good fight back, good fighting there from Inglis.
Nice bit of work on the little half lob just to get it over the top of a very tall player, so I think she judged it pretty well. Gasparyan couldn't get it back, so opportunity for Inglis to hold serve. This is the problem. She's being picked off on this second serve.
Game, Inglis.
So Inglis holds, and that's a really important hold. So she's still down a break, but
Gasparyan leads 2-1.
Hanging in there, 2-1 down in the second set. But Michael, we see with the WTA Tour takes the players to some magnificent places around the world, but we've heard so much feedback from the players how they love coming down here. It's a relaxed atmosphere, a city of around 200,000 here in Hobart. Stunning location up here on the hillside, the hilltop here of Domain, and we've got plenty of great surrounding bushland here, yet we're just 2 minutes away from the city, and you're looking out onto the Derwent, and we see probably 50-60 yachts out there on a Sunday afternoon. It's got a great feel about it down here at Hobart, hasn't it?
It has. When the weather is good, it's probably one of the best venues to watch tennis from, particularly from our vantage point here, and the spectators are also pretty close to the action here too, so it's extremely good venue. And coming up next, Denisa Alatova against Elise Cornier, so from France. So that will be a very exciting match because the number 7 seed is Cornier. So yes, wonderful place to be, wonderful place to live.
Yep, absolutely, and looking forward to seeing Cornier in action. Has been as high as number 11 in the world back in 2009. 25-year-old from France, and did make it to the 4th round of the Australian Open last year, so likes coming down under, and it'll be very exciting to see her in action next up on centre court, as you mentioned, Michael, the number 7 seed.
Some scrambling there.
15 up.
This is the strong point of Gasparyan, the way she's able to move her opponent around the court. She does play a very, very good game.
Just out. It's certainly that one-handed backhand. I think it's really important in tennis because it allows you to get to that ball and stretch that little bit further, and just seeing that she's not having to run as far around. She's got that space and area to be able to be aggressive with that backhand. And that drifts wide, so 30-15.
30-15.
Gasparyan.
Well, she hasn't had too much to be frustrated about apart from the first 3 games. She was a bit slow off the mark, as you mentioned earlier, but since then she's played some inspired tennis, so You just wonder how players view it sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that took some of the line there.
Well, the chair umpire saying yep straight away, so he was pretty confident. Very, very close. And that'll be long, so 40-15, so 2 game points here for a 3-1 lead on the outside courts. We've got 2-all in the opening set between Sepid Roig of Paraguay and Burtons of the Netherlands, and Osaka from Japan leading Dodin of France 5-3. Their qualifying matches on the outside courts. And a great finish to the points. Good game there from Gasparyan, so she maintains that break.
Gasparyan leads 3 games to 1.
So 3-1. Inglis to serve. Held serve. Needs to do it again to stay in this second set. It's wide.
Love 15.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. Well, she couldn't nail the first one down the line in the double-handed backhand.
15 all.
She certainly got some terrific speed on that and got it low. 15 all. Great learning experience for Maddison Inglis, the 17-year-old from Western Australia.
Fault. Oh. 15-30.
Good backhand again there from Gasparyan, so it sets up 2 break points for the Russian, the 21-year-old from Moscow. Really starting to get on top from a brave Maddison Inglis. She's been playing very well. Excellent tennis from Gasparyan. So there's the double break.
Gasparyan leads 4 games to 1.
And Michael Maney just leaving us now for his other duties. The court announcer as well. And at the conclusion of this match, Michael will cross down to Michael for an interview with the winner. See a couple of double faults for Gasparyan and also for Inglis in the match so far. But importantly for Gasparyan, really starting to impact on the first serve. 65% of her first serves in, Inglis at 57. But you can see the power of the Russian. 73% of her first serves in, she's won, and Inglis is just dipped below 50%, sitting on 48%. And Inglis really needs to hope for some first serve errors, because Gasparyan only hitting 31%, winning 31% of her second serves. So
Time.
Gasparyan now to serve, as Inglis makes her way out onto the court here at the Domain Tennis Centre in Hobart under beautiful sunny conditions. Warm day. 6-4, 4-1 for the 21-year-old from Moscow in Russia.
Fifteen love.
Brilliant forehand from Gasparyan. Stretching down the line. Magnificent shot.
30 love.
And right on top now, the 21-year-old.
Love.
And a big ace down the middle. So really, the power of the Russian just starting to really stretch this game out now. 40 love. And it's well long, so Gasparyan holds for a 5-1 lead here in the second set. So after a bright beginning, Inglis led 3-love in the opening set. It's the Russian who has won 11 of the last 13 games to lead 5-1. Inglis now to serve to stay in the match here in opening round action on day one of the 2016 Hobart International. So wait for the new balls to come out. The ball kid's doing a fabulous job, and it's certainly a big day, a big week for them as well to be part of this tournament. What a great it is to see the youngsters out there up close and being able to see the stars of tennis here in Hobart.
Fifteen love. 15 love.
And drifts long. So back to
15
all. Lovely forehand, getting down very low there, Inglis, and driving it down the line.
30-50.
So just hanging in there. She goes to the back court. Inglis just to gather her thoughts, her composure. She's serving to stay in this opening round match. 30-15.
Long.
Long, so Gasparyan just 2 points away from the match and a spot in the second round of the Hobart International. And a backhand into the net. Another good backhand
30,
from
40.
Gasparyan. Sets up match point for the 21-year-old Russian. First match point. And save. Good aggressive play again. Deep ground strokes from Inglis. Brings it back to Juice. So just hanging in there, the youngster, the 17-year-old. Wild card into the Hobart International WTA Tour event here in Hobart. And that's wide.
Advantage English.
Gasparyan frustrated. And a chance here for the Australian to hold serve and bring it back to 5-2. And it's long, so well played, Maddison Inglis. And the crowd appreciating it. Getting behind the young Australian.
Gasparyan leads 5 games to 2.
18 in 4 days' time, so that's a big week for the young Australian. Maddison Inglis, 18th birthday coming up, and her first Grand Slam tournament next week, coached by Andrew Roberts, who is based down here in Tasmania for quite some time, and Callum Beale, her coaches, living in Perth, Western Australia. So don't forget, coming up next, Denisa Alatova will be taking on the 7th seed Elise Cornet of France. That'll be coming up straight after the conclusion of the opening match here on centre court between Margarita Gasparyan and Maddison Inglis. Now we can probably check in on the scores on some of the other courts. And these are the qualifying matches. They're in the opening set on Court Events Tasmania, and it's on serve at the moment. Seppi Droig of Paraguay and Kiki Burtons of the Netherlands. It's 3-4 with Burton serving, and Osaka of Japan has taken the opening set on court. Hard FM, she's defeating Doden 6-4 in the opening set, and play about to resume for the second set. But it's Gasparyan now on centre court, serving to take out the match. That's out, so a nice little leg cord there for Inglis. She wins the opening point. Down a double break at the moment. But, if she can pull one back here, it'll put some pressure on the Russian. She'll be right back in the match. That's wide, so little window here for Inglis. Love 30. And good coverage there from Gasparyan, getting into the net quickly.
15-30.
And finishing it off with a nice touch drop shot. Oh, and that's well long, and big shriek from the
15-40.
Russian. So that sets up 2 break points here for Maddison Inglis to try and get one of those 2 breaks back and get herself back in the match. Good serve out wide. The Russian must like that tennis ball. She's asked the ball kid to have that one back. Coming up to the net. 183 centimetres. Margarita Gasparyan serving at 5-2, 30-40. And a lovely forehand down the line. So Inglis gets one of those breaks back, much to the appreciation of the local crowd down here in Hobart. Gets it back.
Gasparyan leads 5 games to 3.
So from 5-1 to 5-3, and back on the racket of Maddison Inglis to try and get it back to 5-4 and edge closer and closer. She can continue her momentum of the last couple of games. You just never know. Might put a little bit of doubt into the Russian. The nerves can take hold. Big game for the young Australian. Well-constructed point from the Russian. Takes the first point. Great tennis from Inglis. Very good aggressive point. Really had Gasparyan stretching from side to side there, so to 15 all.
Goes
into the net. Inglis just annoyed at herself. Little shake of the head. 15-30. Gasparyan would dearly love to wrap up this match in this game to avoid the pressure of serving at 5-4. A second serve here.
Can you take the ball, please?
Gasparyan right on the baseline, just inside. Aggressive stance. And that drifts wide, so that sets up 2 match points for the 21-year-old Russian. 15-40. Inglis. Poses herself, serving to stay in the match.
Gasparyan.
Big cry from Gasparyan.
Set clock 6-4, 6-3.
And she takes out the opening women's singles match here on centre court at the Domain Tennis Centre in Hobart. 6-4, 6-3 in just over 80 minutes. So brave performance from the 17-year-old Australian Maddison Inglis. And she'll now use the rest of the week to prepare for her first Grand Slam match when she will head now to Melbourne for the Australian Open starting next Monday, of course. But it was a great effort from the Australians. 6-4, 6-3 the final score. Up 3-love in that opening set. She did a great job. And in the end, Gasparyan just too strong, too powerful. 6 aces for Gasparyan in that victory. 1 to Inglis. But she really got her game going from about the midway point of that opening set, did the Russian, and proving too good in the end for Maddison Inglis, the wild card from Perth, Western Australia. She makes her way off court. Brave performance, but she'll take a lot out of today's match. And we're going to cross down to Michael Maney very shortly. He'll have a chat on the centre court here as we get ready for the next match, and that'll be Denisa Alatova taking on the number 7 seed from France, Elise Cornet. But we can head down now to Michael Maney with our winner, Margarita Gasparyan from Russia.
Please put your hands together for Margarita. Wonderful victory. Margarita, you got off to a slow start, but you managed to get your game going after that.
Yeah, so I played not so good today. My partner plays so well, so I hope she will play very good in the future.
And what do you think of Hobart? How do you see the whole Hobart scene and the courts? Everything good? Wonderful weather too.
Yeah, so good, and the weather today is good. I like to stay here, and I'm enjoying.
All right, congratulations, a wonderful victory. So through to the next round, Margarita Gasparyan.
So thanks to Michael Maney there on centre court. The next match won't be too far away, but good victory there. Margarita Gasparyan from Russia through to the second round of the Hobart International, defeating Maddison Inglis from Australia 6-4, 6-3. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back from the beautiful Domain Tennis Centre very, very shortly. Great to have your company. See you soon.
You can get involved here at the Hobart International 2016. Once again, put your hands together for our winner, Margarita Gasparyan. There'll be a lot of fan engagement this year with the VIP points off. Name the stadium, a lucky seat for lunch, so you could be randomly selected for a lunch in the players' lounge room. So that'll be fantastic. The ball in the crowd. If the ball goes into the crowd, don't forget to run, get to keep that. So you don't have to throw it back. And then we'll have fan questions. So get ready. Some of our staff will be zipping around if you'd like to ask a question of one of the winners for the next match and other matches throughout the whole series. You'll be able to do that.